Welcome to Fact or Freestyle.
We discover hidden secrets of BMX.
And now we're going to find out what's going on.
Let's see how far down this rabbit hole we go.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Irina.
Can you hear me? Can you see me? Hi, guys.
Hey.
Oh, good to see you. How you doing?
So,
Doing really
good.
well.
Good.
Yeah.
How are
Great to-
you doing?
Awesome. Can't complain, actually.
Hey, before we get into this too much, can you just tell us your official title that you had last year? I can't remember, and I mess those scenes up all the time. I don't want to mess it up.
World and European champion.
Nice.
Very good.
Thank you.
That's so cool.
Oh yeah, I'm still stoked as well. Sometimes I'm waking up and I was like, it really happened. Cool.
Oh, that's so great.
Oh, it's really amazing. Oh, you guys look so professional with your headphones and your microphones. I feel bad.
Yeah. Hello, Peter.
Should
Hi,
put my
Dave. How are you?
headphones as well? Hi.
I'm well. Peter, can you turn your phone? I think if you turn it, or your,
I'm gonna try. Okay.
yeah, that's
Perfect.
nice.
How's that?
That's wonderful. It
Okay, awesome.
matches nicely. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you.
Hey. So you're
Hey, Peter, this is my friend Irina.
Oh, okay.
She is-
Irina.
Hi, yeah, it's me. Nice to
Hi.
meet
Nice to
you.
meet
Hi.
you. Nice to meet you. Hi, Joe. Nice to meet you too, Joe.
Peter, it's great to meet you, man. Finally, this is the first time we're talking. I think this is the first time Irina and I are talking, like
Definitely.
on the computer.
That's
It's all text these days.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
Messages, emails.
So what are we doing here? What are we doing something?
Let's
I
talk
don't know
about
if it's
BMX.
the show, guys. You're the host.
Oh, that's right. It's our responsibility to launch this off.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is Factor Freestyle, and you never know what to expect. But we pulled it off. We're all here, so that's a huge, thank you just for pulling this off for both of you.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about BMX. We're going to be talking about life. We're going to be talking about whatever comes up. And we always like to start, or many times we'll start with a quote that kind of sets the stage, kind of what we're thinking might be a good, good direction to go with. So Joe's going to pull this up so we can all see it.
This is the first time that Dave has given me the responsibility to come up with the Rob Lowe quote, because all of our quotes start with Rob Lowe. And this is the first time that I've been given the responsibility to pick the quote. And so I prepared a professional presentation. I'd like to
Let me get my clipboard out so I can do a proper rating on this, Joe. Okay. All right, I'm ready.
what's going on. Oh, this was from a little bit before you guys joined. Let me move on. Positivity always wins. Always, Gary Vaynerchuk. And that was Rob Lowe yelling at Gary Vaynerchuk. This is kind of how we're going to orient the show.
Who's Gary Vaynerchuk again?
Gary Vaynerchuk is a guy from New Jersey who took over the family business, which was a wine store. And his parents were Russian immigrants, and I think he was also an immigrant. And they had a wine store. And then when it came time for him to do good, the internet started happening, and he started doing email marketing, and he is a marketer at heart. But he has created this digital marketing empire, and Dustin something or other, who is the brand manager of Merit, went to work for him. Super cool. There was the guys, Dustin, the guy who destroyed Rodeo Peanut. Is Dave, is any of this?
He did that?
Yeah, Dustin is the one who destroyed Rodeo Peanut
Dang.
because they were about to out him. And so he did it himself. There's an entire backstory that is the most ridiculous. Like I aspire to get into some ridiculous shit, the likes of which was Rodeo Peanut.
So my notes have,
I digress.
I might be a different, I think I'm on a different
This is
show.
about positivity.
My show says, it says DWR in really big letters, and it represents dreams, wishes, request. And then out of that, you get the receipts of that and the receiving of those things as they manifest. And then we talk about how, I don't know, maybe we can, use the two guests as bouncing boards. We talk about experiences that when you do that, it kind of multiplies. And I just noticed, like, I think that Peter had a lot of stuff that I've read over on his Facebook and his social media where he's very positive minded. And
Yes.
I think that's a strong quality that you're sharing. And
I
like,
wanted, hey Dave, I got a little cheat list here.
yeah, go.
Stuff that I wanted to talk about, and one of the things that I wanted to talk about is life. It's funny that you brought this all up, like talking about life, because that's the one thing that I wanted to talk about is mental illness and depression. And I think all of us have known multiple people that have passed away due to suicide and depression and mental illness. That's one thing that I wanted to get out and talk about. My battle with depression and how I kind of overcame it.
Perfect. Okay, so can you just hold that thought, because there's a spot in my lineup. It'll fit in perfectly, and I'll kind of cue you in. Yeah, so just to kind of finish that thought, that we were kind of considering what happens when a person, an individual, all of us are very creative minded, and we all have dreams and aspirations and wishes and requests. And when we do that and we put it out to the universe and you receive it, it then multiplies. And I thought of even like an infinity, where it's like an infinity, it keeps coming back and it just continues to ripple out. And then it basically repeats and then amplifies itself. And that's really how we have great change in the world.
Yes.
So that's kind of the broad stroke that we're doing for this show. And we might even have other people. I just gonna be prepared, because sometimes people get the link from a friend. I don't know, like Joe, we got to check into our technical side, because often.
Did you guys share this link with anyone?
I didn't know.
It's okay if you did, but
because some people have started to do that.
Oh, okay, I didn't know.
And then like randos pop in.
That's awesome. Surprises.
Which is perfect, because it's like
that.
we're sitting down to dinner together. You know what I'm talking about? Like we're sitting down, we're talking, and then people just start showing up. That's what happens at after parties.
That's too funny.
Yeah, which is all good, because we're here to kind of collaborate. We're here to catch up with each other. So Irina, we started this about a year ago, and it really was a lot of fun. It was Joe and I. We added Jim, because Jim likes to text while he's doing the show, and
all the time.
And
Yeah.
There he is. Hi, Jim.
you think that he's not part of the show, but he's doing something. He's probably texting somebody the link that he thinks would be good to be on the show.
That's actually why Jim is on the show now, is because I started texting during the show, and Dave was like, "We got to get some fresh talent in
We
here."
have a specific person, and Jim, all he
Some
does.
pizza's here. I ordered Marco's before we started. I think they're here.
Large pepperoni pizza from Marco's.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm kind of the timekeeper. We're going to try to do this in 90 minutes. Now, most of our shows, they've been going pretty long, but I just kind of like to do a nice 90 minutes. If we go a little over, that's fine. So I'm going to be kind of the timekeeper to keep us on the schedule. Joe's primary role is to laugh and to try to derail anything that I'm doing. No, that's not accurate. Tell me what your role is, Joe.
So what you're saying is, I am the dust on your flatland floor.
Yes. Yeah.
I am the divot in your otherwise perfect flatland floor.
Right.
And Dave just rolls with that. Wait, that's terrible. I am not that.
Yeah. No, Joe just loves to take things and just run with it. And oftentimes he'll make.
I go too far. I go too far. Irina knows this about me very well.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
an over-memer. I twist really hard.
Yeah. And we've determined that Large Ray was on the show a while back, and he said that he was concerned because I don't laugh enough. And I told him last time I think I really laughed out loud, like uncontrollably, was like 87. I told a story about that. And he was yeah, that's a few years ago, right? Wow. And so basically what came down to, Joe and I started to look at that, and it's not that I'm not able to laugh. It's that many of the jokes I miss because, well, Joe, you did a great job of describing it. How did you describe my character as an overflower?
So, okay, so this is what happens. If you watch Dave Norrie's Flatland runs or any contest, you will see a thing that we call sneaky touch.
Sneaky touch.
Now, this does have this does sometimes work, as evidenced by Flat Bible with the Matthias touch at Montpellier when he's doing like the.
I remember.
Taking a lap.
Yes.
Victory lap.
And after that, I started to analyze all of Matthias's tricks, and I was like, every one of these tricks that he's doing, there's a place where he can sneaky touch. It's a safety thing. I don't have sneaky touch. Like if I wreck, I go down. Like I don't tap, I go 2 feet, oftentimes back when I fall.
Yeah.
Dave sneaky touches constantly, but he keeps going. You can't even tell. He's the most entertaining rider ever, and he's always sneaky touching. Dave is the most forgiven rider ever.
Yes.
I really hope to start analyzing my runs actually.
Done. Let's do that.
No.
Okay.
No,
Don't. I won't. Let's, you know what? Irina and I pay Marty to give us coaching. Yeah. And so we don't cross.
We never touch.
We don't cross analyze.
Yeah, you don't cross analyze. You got
and
your.
We never touch.
Consistency training. You never touch the floor.
The floor is lava. Okay, so what does this have to do with Dave not laughing? Well, Large Ray said, Dave, I believe that you're dead, and there must be something dead inside you because there's a lot of the stuff you don't laugh at. Dave, I am teaching Dave. Dave misses references because Dave doesn't internet all day long.
And in pop culture,
Dave doesn't get pop culture references.
I don't watch television. You know, Joe is my main exposure to the world at this point.
I teach Dave everything about the internet and what's funny about the internet. Dave, people have been telling Dave these references for years. Dave misses it and never looks back. Dave has zero interest. Dave has zero interest in analyzing his sneaky touches in the same way he has zero interest in going back to research the references that he missed. This is why Dave appears to not laugh perpetually. Dave remains in a state of flow. So some people say that Dave is an overflower. Dave is perpetually in a state of flow, and he doesn't take the time to look back and look up or ask about the internet references that he missed.
So when I watch
what I'm here to help him with. When
I watch the show is I go back and I Google these names, and then I'm laughing, but it's all by myself. I guess that's maybe the situation. So coming back to our
stop. Dave doesn't laugh on the show because he's barraged by confusion of the references. Dave watches the rerun of the show, stops it, Googles it, and then laughs in private.
Yes, I'm a private laugher.
I'm a private laugher. That's great. I just laugh in private.
we're coming up on a break, Joe. We're coming up on a break, so I want to get to the next thing. Okay, we got a break in just a couple minutes. So
He's got a watch that says when we have to take breaks so we stay on time so we don't go for 3 hours.
exactly. Hey, it's a performance, like just like the horror shows. We were trying, dialed in, hit the spot, do the air, do the ground. Okay, so my first thing I just want to go into right before the break, we just got 60 seconds. I'm going to give a little teaser. So for those of you that are, tuning out, they got to go get a snack during the break, come back because you're going to hear the last part of this segment that I think is going to be key. So I'm just going to give you a little teaser and basically going into a little bit more with this dreams that wishes, requests, and then the receipt of that. And I guess I just want to hear maybe an example from the two guests of that. Not to put you on the spot. You have a little time when we go break, but to think about something that you wish for. It could be bike related or not. We all are connected because of bikes, but we're also all connected because of life. So it can be whatever, but a short story that kind of conveys a dream that you had, a wish that you had, a request that you had, and how that came to be. And then also, most importantly, because this is where I think it really gets cool, the ripple effect that had. So I'll give you an example. I went to, we got to go to break. So we'll be right back. factOrFreestyle, don't miss out. Nori's going to come back and tell a time when he touched somebody's life and it came back full circle. Okay, Joe, go ahead. I think it's Flatland Fuel is our next. Is Flatland Fuel got any coupons for this show or?
No, we don't. We ran out.
Oh, Flatland Fuels this time. Okay, well, thank you, Flatland Fuel, for being a part of. They've been here from pretty much the beginning, right? I mean, everyone can take a little break too if you need a drink.
Pat has been sponsoring me on the DL for several years and has asked me to keep it quiet because he doesn't want to make a big deal about it. But I do. Pat has been so.
Okay, and another shout out. Let's welcome Cool Stop. Cool Stop has been helping us out because Cool Stop's
Cool Stop.
Thank you, Cool Stops, and I think they've been supporting us all along. We're going to be doing some more cool stuff with Cool Stop. So go get your Cool Stops. And finally, isn't there a bigger sponsor? Oh, Reclamation Bikes. Let's thank Reclamation Bikes for all the things to help us do what we want to do with contests and different events and getting people a ride. So thank you, Reclamation Bikes.
Oh,
and
yeah, shout out Reclamation Bikes.
And now back to the show. Okay, so what I was saying is I was actually loving the fact that I got to travel around the world and I got to learn from people. And as I learned these tricks and I got to experience these tricks, it's my repertoire of tricks. And then I would go around and I got to do the same tour 5 years in a row. And I watched the riders that I rode with, the local riders, also, it just get to the point where they had more stuff to share with me and it was a constant flowing. So it was a never ending pool of awesomeness. And now it's been 30 some odd years later and it's not going away. What do you got here, Joe?
This is the method that Dave is describing. And it's how you get that. You dream, then you wish, then you request, then you receive, and then it repeats and amplifies each cycle.
What's the difference between a dream and a wish?
Oh, dreams happen whether you want them or not.
Okay.
The wish is when you say, "Not, hey, I want that," because I mean, you've had dreams like, "Oh, I've got nightmares. Oh, I freak out." And it's like,
okay,
I had a dream that like my new seat post, like it turned into a fish and then it flopped. But then when it came back to life, it was titanium and they called it a saddle rod. That is a crazy dream. The wish would be, I wish that I could make a statement and make a bunch of people laugh if I turn saddle rod into an alien spirit that comes down to earth and gives people advice.
Right. I think that's wish seems very short. Dream seems much more elaborate. Is that kind of your point, Joe?
A dream is not under your control. A wish is under your control.
Okay, so let's throw it to Peter. Not to put you too much on the spot. You can just freestyle it as you wish. with this in mind of something that you could share with us, that a wish, a request, a dream, and how that manifested in your life or world.
In a world of dreams.
Early on, I've had a battle with depression, a huge battle with depression. And I always dreamed of like it going away and being like, you know, positive thinking and happy and all that. And then I've been through a life-changing experience last year. And it completely changed me 110%. And the ripple effect is I like passing that on to other people, like that knowledge onto other people. And if I can make somebody, if I can teach somebody something, make them happy and give them a positive thought, it makes me happy.
Nice. Can you?
Yeah.
Do you feel
I always believe
comfortable?
everything happens for a reason. That's my number one saying. And it's so true.
So now you have that stoke and you're getting other people stoked.
Exactly.
And when you see that you stoke someone else, that stokes you. So then you get energized to make another stoke. And then it's not like a downward spiral, it's an upward ratchet. It's the
Right.
It's the ratchet of it's the stoke ratchet. It's the dope stoke ratchet.
Can you tell us a little bit, Peter, about that life-changing experience? If you're in a, you know, a comfortable place or a safe zone, you can also have a safe word, because on this show we do encourage personal growth and stretching and amongst friends. And even if you said something, we could cut it out, you could edit it out. But we could come up with a safe word, or you could come up with a safe word if you need a safe word.
Here's how the
I'm
safe
okay to
word
talk
works.
about anything.
Okay, got it. So
Yeah.
here's why we came up with the safe word. Large Ray started telling some story, and he's like, well, maybe that's why I do such and such. And he had this realization that took him all the way back to his father. And now he taught his father how to ride a bike. And he goes, you guys are freaking me out.
Yeah.
And we said, okay, well, you got a safe word. So
Yeah.
if you're ever going to the point where you're like, I'm about to open some door on Zoom, safe word, and we just changed. So imagine a safe word. You want to tell us now, but go ahead. You have the floor.
Joe, I want to see their face more. Can I see the larger screen again?
Yeah, now that everybody knows the format of what we're doing.
Thank you.
There we go.
All right, Peter,
Peter.
the floor is yours.
I don't really have a safe word. I mean, I'm all right to talk about
No, I'm sorry. You don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to
Yeah.
say. It's just an option, obviously. But
Yeah.
if you want to share a little bit about that life-changing experience.
Last year, June or July, in June of last year, I went out to a facility in Tucson, Arizona called Sierra Tucson. And for my depression, it's a rehabilitation center.
Okay.
And I went out there, I drove my 94 Cherokee at the time. I drove it out there. I was out there for 3 weeks. And it was completely life-changing, completely 110%. I gained so much coping skills to deal with stress and life and all that stuff. And then that was part of the life-changing experience. Like I was 180 degrees a different person.
Wow.
And then on the way home, driving home, I had a really bad car wreck. And to make a long story short, I basically fell asleep at the wheel and I hit a parked car on the shoulder and flipped and rolled my truck 5 times and landed on the roof and slid off into the grass and no seatbelt.
Wow.
And I'm sitting here talking to you, survived.
Wow.
That was the most life-changing experience that I can ever possibly tell you. One, I thought that was a sign for me personally from that guy above, say, listen, you feel good and you think you're like all better. Well, I'm going to give you the ultimate test, you know,
Right.
and how do you handle this? And going through this facility that I went through, and I'm able to handle stress like so much better.
Wow.
And going through my accident and living through it and going through all the stress of it, I'm a totally different person than I was. And I think that's what makes me want to like pass on that helping other people in the time of need, people with depression. You know, if I can give some good advice to somebody, I'm all over it. I love it. I love same thing with you. Like you know, part of the reason why we ride is to kind of show off a little bit, but to make people happy.
Yeah.
It's just a
Yeah.
happy
Yeah.
thing, you know? And that's why I like seeing people smile. I love it. And it feeds me. It feeds my, you know, my need for it. And it just makes me feel so much better, you know?
I'd say something here, Peter.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. I had no, I mean, we obviously don't say, what are you going to, we just come in and we feel like Jim and Joe and I, we just kind of go by our gut feeling. And I can't have asked for a better experience and a little bit of sharing that. And that's just, it's phenomenal. And I just think it's both the universe and us here that's created that. So thank you. I really appreciate it. And we'd love to hear more and do more, because we're going to do a show specifically about that. And Rick Allison, one person that talked about it. So we will definitely, you know, dive in a little deeper, because that seems like a very deep and important, you know, depression is a huge thing. And I think we have the fortunate that riding builds so much good qualities in our.
It builds so much self-esteem. The one thing I got, I just want to get off the subject. The one thing I got out of freestyle, the one thing I got is self-esteem. It built me up so much. Like I felt so more confident. Even when you're trying a trick, you can relate to this. Anybody in BMX can relate to it. You're trying a new trick over and over and over and over, and you don't give up. You just don't give up. You keep trying and trying and trying. And all of a sudden, bam, you pull the trick. Holy crap. I remember the first time I was trying decades for like all day long.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it. I couldn't do it for the life of me. I couldn't get past the top tube, you know, that jump over the top tube. I couldn't get past it. I kept almost going on my nuts and like falling and going forward. I'm like, I can't get this, but I didn't give up. I kept at it. I didn't give up. I was so driven to get this. And then I finally pulled it and I was like, oh my God. I'm like, I just did it. I felt that self-esteem. I felt so good.
Yeah.
And I think that's like with freestyle in general, it has that ripple effect for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And for the rest of people's lives, it gives you that confidence that when you're trying something new, to keep at it, keep trying, keep at it. You're gonna get it. You know,
physical as well.
Dude, the first decade, and that's no joke.
Yeah.
Like learning a decade, that is no joke. And
it's not. I can tell you something else, a bar hop. Dave I know everybody used to do it. You know, bar hops?
Yep.
I could never get it. I used to do it onto grass, like going off onto grass. So if I caught my feet, I would like fall into the grass, you know?
Yeah.
The first time I did it, I was like, oh my God. I'm like, I was so excited just over a little thing like that. I was so excited. And it was
even when you talk about it now, you can see that
I know.
I got goosebumps, by the way.
Hey, I want to give Irina. Hey, who's that? I want to give Irina a chance to talk. Tell us a story that you have.
I can totally relate what Peter said. So I also had a phase in my life where I was very depressed. So usually everybody knows me as super sunshine and I love life, I enjoy it. But sometimes life hits you and you get down and you don't know what is going on actually. So I cried half of the day and I didn't know why. I get panic attacks and so on and so on.
Wow.
And I think that's a totally important topic because for people, it's not so easy to talk about that, right? Usually you meet and you say, how is it going? And everybody's saying, yeah, awesome. And everything is great. But sometimes it's not. And let's face the fact, life is hard sometimes. And it's not always, the sun is not always shining, you know? So I did my PhD in medical science and I worked kind of too much. So I was at one point, I was just like over it. I didn't have a private life anymore. And suddenly it hits. So I got starting depressed and I could fight myself out somehow. I did not ride BMX back then because I was too much into research. So for people not knowing me so well, I'm doing research in leukemia. So I'm a scientist. And I was in the lab the whole day, you know, and I don't have windows in my room, in my laboratory. So I was kind of in this tunnel and I could not get out anymore. I could not write because it didn't make fun back then. It was a few years where I was not motivated at all. And it seemed that I did not have time for that because I have to focus on my studies and that stuff. And I started making therapy, talking to people, and I could get out somehow. And then I decided to take a year off and do a trip around the world.
What year? What year was that? Just so I have a reference. What year was that?
That was end of 2017 till 2018, kind
When
of.
you went to Huntington Beach, was that world tour?
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
got it. That's because I know that date. Okay.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
I was feeling already quite well on this trip, but I learned so much during that trip myself about other people, about, I don't know, I'm cautious about your thoughts, about what to do, what you love to do. You don't know, you're stuck in that wheel, you know, like, what's this, hamster? Sorry, I'm asking my boyfriend about
Yeah.
English. Hamster. Hamster? Is it hamster, the small animal?
Yeah, it's the
running?
hamster wheel.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
hamster.
You feel like that kind of animal running all the time and you don't know when it stops, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Finally, I went on this trip and I met new people. For example, Huntington Beach. I met all these other legends from BMX riding. I met random people in any small villages in South America, but they made me happy with the life story, you know?
Hmm.
This exchange of thoughts and experience that made me so much wiser, kind of. And I'm totally on your side, Pete, when you say it makes you happy when you make people
yeah.
happy. So I love that. So now I'm totally recovered. I'm feeling fine. I'm stable. So when I go to work, people love when I come to work because I'm shining. I'm like, hey, good morning. How you doing?
I love it.
Hello. Everybody's like, it's so good that you're here. My Monday is already better. And that makes me feel amazing. You know what I mean? So yeah. Hi, Paula.
Going. Not on mute, am I? Okay.
No, we hear you. Gary, can you turn your, thank you, by the way, that was great. And that's exact, and it's so amazing, like the similarities between both of the stories,
Hold
right?
on, I gotta move. Hold on. Hold on.
Stories.
Okay.
I can't have, we couldn't have planned that. We didn't do any pre-interviews and to say, hey, do you have struggles with, you know, feeling disconnected from the world or depressed? We had no idea, but the theme, and I'm going to just go through this so that, because Paula and Ray just joined and Gary should be right back on, but I'm just going to give another broad stroke so that the new guests that have joined. How did you get this link, Ray? You must have some kind of insight, you're hacking.
What do you mean?
Hey, there's Ray.
You sent it to me.
Oh,
He sent it.
My name's Ray Schleckweg, and you said, "Can you join us tomorrow at 3:30?" And then you sent me the link. And is everything
large
okay?
Ray, large Ray. Okay, yeah. I guess that must. Joe, I think
Did you-
I'm the link. I think I'm the one.
Did you not want me to? Did you not want me to be here?
Dave, it is very transparent now that Dave has all of this planned behind the scenes, and
No.
he fakes accidents. And Ray,
Oh.
you just outed it.
Wait,
Yeah, all that work.
I outed it.
All that work just went out the door. Okay, here's the broad stroke, guys, just so you can come
I'm
up.
the. I don't get what you're talking
and that is the funniest thing. So this is what I'm learning.
Okay.
Dave, apparently. Well, what am I learning? What
Is he drinking a Sprite?
is it?
Dude,
Why are
a
you drinking
50-some-year-old
Sprite?
man just drinking sugar water. That's something.
What
That's
are you doing? We
that's a
just
real
had
man.
that conversation earlier.
I
All right,
know.
so Ray, this is what happened. His brother goes, he's on the phone, and his brother goes, "Hey, what's that soda that you drink to rehydrate? What is that? What is that going on?" And I was having a conversation with Dave, and I just said, "Dave, you do not rehydrate with soda. Soda doesn't work to rehydrate." And we have this back and forth, and his brother's like, "Oh yeah, what is it, Sprite? Oh yeah, we like Dr. Pepper in this house. Dr. Pepper."
What accent are you doing?
My brother.
His brother's accent. It's multiple. He has multiple accents going on at once. But what he was telling me was that Sprite will rehydrate you, and I was saying Sprite will not rehydrate you.
Okay, guys, we got to come back. We got to come back because I want to get this
Okay.
brush stroke because someone else might join us if we're lucky, because I think I might have sent it to one more person. I couldn't really keep track, but here's now Gary's back too. So Gary, here's what we're doing as far as the broad stroke. We're talking about positivity, and we're talking about how there's a formula that seems to work. It's a universal formula, which is basically DWR, and it's dreams, wishes, and request. And then a person, an individual, or even a group can have this. We're going to do a little demonstration here that Joe has done. Thank you, Joe. Can have this request put out to the universe, or a wish or a dream, and then receive of something that fulfills that dream or wish or request. And then that basically amplifies, it repeats and amplifies, and then it touches many other people's lives. So that's kind of the broad stroke. And then both Peter, talked about some life experiences and how they were able to really shift into a much better place around riding, around traveling the world, and around doing things for themselves. And even an amazing situation that Peter went through, where it was a close to death experience. So that's the broad stroke. And now what I want to do is going into the next segment. I want to talk to Paula. Thank you, Paula, for coming, because I really appreciate you making the time. I literally invited you 5 minutes ago or so. When did I invite you?
I got a link this morning around 9 a.m.
Yeah, so
or a message from you at least. Yeah.
Thank you. Talk about last minute, But I
It
thought
happens to be my downtime right now, but like usually mornings we wake up, do a ton of stuff, have lunch, and then have downtime. So this 3:30 time slot is like perfect for me on the weekends. It just worked out. It's kismet.
Yeah, and so both Peter and Irina had a chance to talk about an experience, but do you have anything that could tie into this, that you have a dream that you put out, or a wish or a request? Because I seem to remember last show, you were asking for something that was it was important to your heart. It was important to what you feel you want to contribute to the world. Can you reflect on that again, what that was?
So last Saturday, we were discussing Flat Queens contest last year and what we want to do this year. So for me, the biggest thing is like having an incentive for these girls to enter, having prize packages, and like the big ask would be for like a cash prize. Because I think these girls really deserve it, and I would like to offer it, but I don't have the most money, so we kind of put that out there into the universe and like crossed our fingers and like knock on wood and all that. And,
hold on, I'm sorry, just a second. Joe, I got to do a quick break because Reclamation Bikes is another. They bought 3 spots on the show this time, so we just passed the bottom of the hour. So Joe, is it okay if I just do a quick little spot with Reclamation Bikes?
Yeah, go for it. Do you need any audio visual support?
No, all I need to do is just bear with me. Fred just wants me to do this that's all I have to do. Okay. All right. So, wait, that's weird. I got a text from Fred.
Do it again.
Hey, Gary.
do the shirt thing again.
Sure thing.
Redo.
Wait, just a second.
Hold on a second. There was a glitch on the, I'm sorry, your video
Stop this,
froze,
guys.
and we didn't get it.
Yep.
Okay, hold it there. It's frozen. It's all, hold on a second. How's your internet? Go back up and do that.
Stop it. Okay. All right.
Okay, I think that worked.
Okay, this is actually hot off the presses. So Fred Gates is kind of the main mastermind behind Reclamation Bikes, and he's the one that we asked to see. Who's that? We really been hacked.
This is Lalo. Lalo is my life coach.
Okay.
Hey, what's up, Lalo?
Go ahead, Dave. Keep with the promo.
Oh, yeah. So Reclamation Bikes is here to announce that they're going to sponsor Flat Queens contest. And Fred says you don't have to have the date right now, but you're going to be able to have a pro purse, depending on how many entries you have. And you're going to have prizes for both the amateur and pro.
Wow, that's awesome.
So
Thanks
there
so
you
much.
have it. It's happening live right now.
it's so exciting. I'm just like, my mind is like just exploding this whole, between last week and this week. This is just so amazing. I just really appreciate Rec and Fred. They're just amazing people. They've always been really supportive. Like whenever I see them out there on the contest circuit, they're really hyped up to see a girl riding, and it's like genuine energy that I can feel. I know they're genuine. So I really appreciate it, and we just love them.
Well, I know that Fred wants to see a pro class in building up with the AFA circuit as well. And it will take some time, but this is the beginning, because now
Yeah.
you can comfortably and confidently move forward to say, hey, we've got some money, we've got some prizes, come be a part of this.
It's so exciting. I am so stoked. That's like my biggest ask. Like I talked to Irina about it last year, and like I really wish we had a cash prize for these girls, but we couldn't do it last year. So I am just like so excited about this. So excited.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Yes. You don't have any dates. Are you considering any dates? Is it summer? Just to give us a general idea, do you have something to give us as far as timeline?
We actually had intended to meet tomorrow to discuss this stuff.
Okay, that's fine.
We should have done it today, Paula.
Yeah, and we could
Anyway.
actually, we have a panel of, 7 other people on the call, so we can come up with some ideas, maybe even right now, of how we think we could collaborate with an online. So the Flat Queens will be online, and then we're gonna hopefully support the AFA circuit, which people would then be able to travel to. So that seems like, a really great aspiration. And any other ideas that people might have, please chime in. And if you have comments on our channel, that was also very helpful. Okay, so Joe, tell me
Yes.
about our most recent guest, because that I was not.
This is Lalo.
Hello,
Lalo
Lalo.
is, I did an interview with Lalo. He asked me, he said, Joe, I'm doing, I'd like to spend some time with you and get inside your head.
Okay.
And that's because Lalo is a professional. And I figured, what the hell? Let's see what a professional. I've been trying to get a stress counselor anyway. And I figured he's not exactly a stress counselor, but I'm really busy and I'm gonna take what I can get. And so, and it was really great. Like I was talking to him earlier today about my hang up with saddle rod.
Yeah.
And he said, and I was like, all right, well, I could compartmental saddle rod. So in many ways, many of you can thank Lalo as and when saddle rod becomes even more wonderful.
Yeah. Well, thanks for that intro. Joe, you can call me Lord Lalo. That'll be fine.
Can I try Lord Lalo?
Yeah, please.
Lord Lalo.
Yeah. So just a little background. I'm a behavior analyst. I've been doing behavior analysis for 15 years, and I have a master's degree in social work. And so I wasn't prepared to delve into even what Joe had going on upstairs, but it really was illuminating. And despite the tangents and the frequent randomness that came out, my discussion with you, Joe, was actually pivotal in the research that I've been doing. And I've been working on studying high performance athletes, and spoke to a lot of Flatland masters, and everybody had something interesting to say. But when I spoke to Joe, it was frustrating, but it actually I came out the other end with some really interesting insights that later on in my research bore fruit. Just like going back to it, going, damn, I guess Joe did say something like that. And
see, I am not just dumb.
Right.
Not
I want to
just
hear more.
dumb.
I want to hear
There's
more
more
about
to
the
me than being
frustration.
dumb.
Lalo, can
The
you talk more about the frustration? What was that?
You
Just
need
trying
more.
to.
You need to know more about the frustration of working with me, Dave. That's what you're asking for.
I think
no, I feel like that you already probably have a good handle on that.
so it's the same that everyone knows. It wasn't anything special that he gave to you. It's kind of the Joe that we all love and know. Okay.
The thing is about Joe is that he's a sweet guy and he's a smart guy and he's actually a very skillful practitioner of the flatland arts, and so that's why I did actually approach him for his honest opinion about things, and I did actually come out with some things from him that bore fruit, specifically in the realm of ego construction strategy and scent training strategies for practicing flatland. So yeah.
Joe, I think we have a factor freestyle for Paula. Are you? This is a good segue if you want to introduce.
Yeah. So Paula and Irina, we've got this is an actual rumor that we have heard, and we want to run it by you. So we got a comment actually. I'm going to put it up on the screen for y'all to read. Jim, how did I do with the y'all?
It's coming along. Keep practicing. It can only get better.
We got a comment on the last show. It said from Boba Fett, I wish they had female stunt doubles in Rad. For a person who thought Lori Loughlin was hot when I was a kid, it's kind of disturbing, but kind of funny to see guys in tight white pants and a wig when I rewatch it now. So he feels that there was some social contract broken as he was ogling Lori Loughlin, when in fact, he was ogling Eddie Fiola.
Limited resources at the time.
So the rumor we heard is that Irina and Eddie Fiola and Flat Queens have right now created a training program for female stunt doubles. And this is in preparation for the 40th anniversary remake of Rad, which is the working title is Rad 2: The Next Generation. It has a nice ring to it.
Right.
I love it. Oh my God.
It's not Rad 2 Electric Boogaloo.
40 years, man.
So Paula, Irina, is there any truth to this rumor that you are in cahoots with Eddie Fiola to create
And wait, I just want to
stunt double?
Yeah, and you can just give us a little bit, like, even if you don't feel like you can talk about it, it's a little dark so we can't see a wink, but a little like, scratch the chin or, oh,
just blink twice if it's true.
Baseball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay, I think you're going to have to
chat with Eddie, but about different topics. So that's all I can say for now. I don't want to spoil any secrets, for the
It is
anniversary.
just the tip of the iceberg too. This goes way deeper than that.
Okay.
Oh my God. This is
Joe.
Okay, Dave. Wow.
So here we go. So we got Brian Blyther. Thank you. I want to welcome Brian. And Gary, I'm sorry I haven't given you much of the floor yet, or Large Ray, but there's a lot of dynamics happening. And
Yo, Brian.
So Brian,
What's up,
can you turn your camera, Brian? You're going to be able to get a little better shot if you can turn it. It didn't work. No, it didn't work. It's all right.
Try it one more time. Turn it back and do that.
All right.
Maybe it's locked.
Hey, Mr. Pleiser.
Yeah, I think it's locked.
So that's fine, Brian. So could you, Joe?
His son fixed it.
Wait,
Look at that.
Yeah, there you go. His son fixed it. Okay, Joe, can you do the factor freestyle one more time? And then Irina, can you basically act the same way that you just did? You know, totally freaked out and laughing.
Dave wants to do another take of this.
Yeah, take one. Wait, what do you do? Hey, Jim, what do you do when you want to mark this part of the video? You put a hand up, right?
You bring the slate. I don't have a slate, but here we go. Take two.
Take
Mark.
two. Okay, go.
Gavel.
All right, so Bryan, we heard that Eddie Fiola is in cahoots with Irina, who is the global and European flatland champion, and Paula, who operated the Flat Queens online contest. That Fiola is in cahoots with these two to create a training program for female stunt doubles. And this is in preparation for the 40th anniversary remake of Rad, the working title being Rad 2, The Next Generation. Have you heard this rumor?
I have not, but I believe it.
Okay, here it is. Just to put it out there, this is happening.
Did you ever see that Rad Girls video I made with Bill Allen?
I did
Tell
not.
us about it.
They
Tell
took
us,
it off
tell us.
YouTube though for like copyright infringement stuff, but it was like gold. I had Bill Allen in there. He had a part, and he was like, "Who are these girls?" And like kind of like the reverse role of that scene. And then my friend Billy was just like, "I don't know," and he's like, "Find out who they are." So they took that off YouTube for copyright infringement. Now I'm kind of like on a vendetta too to like bring that back, that the girls and Rad together. And so
put it on Vimeo.
this rumor you're talking about is just the tip of the iceberg, because it goes so much further than that.
Jim, what did you just say? I want to make sure that Paula
Oh, yeah.
heard that.
Put it on Vimeo. Vimeo won't pull it down for copyright.
It's gone though. Like I wiped that stuff off my computer. That was like 2014, I think, or 13. It was a while ago.
I understand though. I know what that's like.
What are the
Bummer.
chances that we could compel, by hook or by crook, Bill Allen to do a second take of that?
He'll do it.
He'll do it 100%.
He did it the first time, and like I barely knew him. I didn't really know him at all, and like no one really knew who I was either in 2012. Just like some girl riding Flatland asking Bill Allen to take part in her YouTube video. So he's a pretty cool guy.
Who has Bill's phone number? Raise your hand.
Ray?
Tony Donaldson can get a hold of him in 8 seconds.
Yes.
He can get a hold of him faster than I can get a hold of Brian Blyther. That's how fast.
What's up, Ray?
Yo, Brian.
What's going on,
Nice to see
Brian?
everybody.
What's up, Brian?
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Is Lalo paralyzed? Are you bedridden or are you just relaxing?
No, I'm disabled right now. I have some issues, but I'm getting
The
better.
back issue?
Yeah.
Oh. All right.
Yeah, I can at least say it's Flatland related. So there's that.
Good fall. Look at all the hoods.
Hey, Brian, I just want to thank you for coming and joining us. I know I also kind of asked you last minute.
I'm on a COVID run of food.
Okay, well, you were requested by Peter. Peter is here. He's one of our first paid guests. So he paid 43. You paid 43,
Money.
right?
Nice.
Money.
Hey, I
Did you
have
pay the 43 cents? Oh, that's awesome.
how
Well
so
worth
far?
it.
We're about
Already
halfway through,
checkout.
Peter. Does it feel like you've got your 43 cents yet, or do we need to get in a little deeper?
We need to get a little deeper.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, he's got 43.
I got I want summer tour.
Stories.
Summer tour, stories.
Okay.
I got two that I want to say.
Okay, your floor is yours. You're the only one that paid for anything on this whole call, so
Oh man.
you can run the rest of the show. Basically, you got 40
Well,
minutes.
first I want to say hi to Gary. Hey Gary, what's up?
Hey, Pete, how you been?
Good, very good, Gary. And Ray, how are you, Ray? I met you once.
Good. At Woodward, right? You're at Woodward all the time, right?
Yeah. Well, no, I met you with.
You're
I was
from
with
New
Gary.
York?
Was
Are
that
you from New York?
No.
Okay, same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you, dude. What's up?
What's going on? How are you? And then Brian,
Good.
what's up?
Get those questions going here. I want to see what 43 cents buys you today.
Hey, Dave, I got a story from you that I don't think a lot of people know.
Oh no.
I had an experience with you. You did a show. You, Ron, and Bryan did a show in New Jersey at Amber Cycle in Fair Lawn, New Jersey.
Okay.
You did multiple shows there, and you took off out of the show on the road, just down the sidewalk, and I'm like, I'm gonna go follow him. So follow right behind you. We're going down the road. We're doing like frame stands, and we're just kind of doing tricks going down the road. And then you pull over into this store, right in front of this store. You sat down and you're like, shh, don't tell nobody what you're about to say. And I'm like,
wait, can we just stop for just a second? Reclamation Bike. I just want to have it.
This is the best 43 cents ever in the history of the world.
This
Even if the story ended right now would be awesome.
Hey, Dave, your internet froze and we didn't see the shirt.
Oh, really? Again? So,
Dave, what's your safe word? Let's
I need a safe word.
You might need a safe word.
So if he says it, pull the plug. If you
my
hear
safe word is poots.
Oh man.
Puss in boots.
So you sat down.
If you hear boots and pants, stop it. Pull the plug.
Dave, you sat down. You're like, don't tell nobody. And I'm like, I'm expecting something like crazy to happen. You're like, then you pulled out a pack of cigarettes. And you start smoking. And I'm like, he's like, nobody knows this. I'm like, okay. I'm like, so you're
nobody's gonna know.
Yeah, who's gonna know? I'm like,
I was a closet smoker for years, Peter.
You were. You told me, don't tell nobody. You're like,
and Bryan can tell the story about Spike Jones because Spike Jones got me on the no smoking. What year was that? That's going to tell a lot. What year?
85. I gotta say, 85.
That was in 1985. So if you were smoking then, you were a cheater. And I'm gonna call Spike.
Oh man,
I'm upset.
No, but Bryan, just in my defense, it's New Jersey, all right? Spike got on this. He got on in Maryland, and we came back. So I don't think I started his 10. It was only a 10-day program. I'm just saying, it's really close. There's some.
Are you saying it was?
No, think about the logistics. So the logistics is we would do the show and we'd always do Rockville, Maryland is in the middle. And then we would start heading back. So anyhow, doesn't matter. I really appreciate that you put me on a spot like that because I feel really uncomfortable. And
sorry, Dave.
That's the best. Like, that's not easy for anyone to do. So you better have gotten your 43 cents worth by now.
I got one more story. Story. It involves Ron and Bryan.
Okay, good. Thank you.
You're off the spotlight, Dave.
Yeah, right.
I think this had been 88, and it was the King of Kings, I think, or the King of Kings tour or something like that. What was the name of that tour in 88?
Tour of Kings.
It was 1988. It was Westwood Cycle.
Oh, yes.
Oh no.
I came in late. I rode my motorcycle there, and I pull up to the show, and it was at like some playground. I pull up it was at the end of a dead end street. So I parked there and I went to the show, went through everything. And after the show, I was talking to Ron, and Ron's like looking over my shoulder when I'm talking to him. And he goes, wow, look at that motorcycle over there. And I'm like, dude, that's mine. And he's like, oh, he goes, really? He was like all excited, So he
really?
goes, Ron,
wait. Ron's excited about a motorcycle? Really? Okay.
Yeah. So he goes, can I take it for a ride? And I was like, go ahead. He grabs my helmet, puts it on, takes it out. And there was a road like right in back of the show. And Ron comes flying by. And he's like, yeah, like all fast and everything. And everybody's like, what the hell was that? And so he comes back from his ride. And then Bryan walked over, and Ron's like, Bryan, you got to take this thing for a ride. It's so cool, So Bryan went out for a ride on it. And Bryan just kind of came by like real slow. And he's like, and it was like just a putt-putting by, And he came by, and, the three of us were just chatting about it. But I'm like, man, I wish I had something to like, to memorize that, like that moment in time, And then later on, like years later, this is probably like 5 years ago, somebody had took a picture of Ron
No.
standing next to me, talking to me next to my motorcycle. And I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, that's my bike. I'm like, and that's Ron, you know? So I actually have a picture of that somewhere in my phone, but
Send it to Joe. Send it to Joe. Cause yeah, he would love to have that.
I got to dig for it. But I'll definitely send it to him though.
I would have called the cop and said it was stolen.
Hey, Large Ray,
Yes,
how are you feeling today?
awesome. I'm a little mad at Joe still, but we'll talk about that later.
Oh wait,
Uh-oh.
yeah, we better talk about it later,
well,
Joe.
let's
right?
get we got to
Yeah,
get
let's
this
talk
out
about
of
it
the way.
later. That's what we always say. Talk about it later with Ray.
And
No,
it's
Ray.
not even I'm not even joking. I'm a little upset with Joe because
Which
of
one? Last night?
you not being able to speak through a text message.
What?
Like if I text you tomorrow and say, "Hey Joe, like we had that group text going and you didn't answer one. I kept sending pictures of you to try and spark your anger. Didn't happen.
I know, and I was in the hot tub warming up for my session, and this
Don't tell me that kind of stuff. I don't care. Don't tell me that kind of stuff.
there's like 4 inches of snow here, and I was getting ready for a session, and Ray was like,
that doesn't matter. The reason that I'm a little spoiled because Mark Eaton for the past 20 years, if I call him 99.8% of the time, he will pick up. And like Gary, like 99.2% he'll pick up. So I like calling people. I like talking. And I feel that if I called you, you wouldn't pick up, and that pisses me off because we were in a text and you wouldn't even text because you were warming up in a hot tub. That holds no water with me, dude.
No water. Get the pun.
No water. All the water in that hot tub does not hold.
Does not hold, Joe.
Joe, do you want to process this?
Yes, I think he needs to process it. Thank you.
yes. Okay, Lalo, get me through this, please.
Okay, go ahead. I'm just gonna sit back.
All right.
It shows that you don't care and you think you're better than everybody else because anybody can text and just be like,
there's that stardism. That's that star he wants to be.
If you just wrote, Ray, I'll call you back, very busy, boom. And you can do that from the hot tub using Siri. I know you got the technology. You got that big waffle microphone. You got it all. You got the technology. You can do it. So.
Okay.
There's nothing you can say other than, Ray, I'm sorry, and I'll make sure next time.
You know what? You're right.
That's all you got to do. You don't need Lalo, the life coach. You know, his job's easy today, dude. I just life coached you. I just life coach you. All you got to do is say, Ray, it will never happen again.
It will never.
And it's over. We go on to the next thing. I want to talk more about Dave smoking cigarettes, but. And Peter is the greatest thing that you ever had on here, man, because he is excited and got good stuff, dude.
Okay, and you can get back to the smoking. That's fine, Ray, as we can fulfill that wish here. But I want to get back to Peter on one more subject because I think Joe has found some amazing, very positive, inspirational quotes that you have.
All right, hold on a second. What Dave is trying to say is we are on to you, Peter, and we're gonna provide some evidence.
What happened?
Peter posts really inspiring memes, but we think he's actually taking negative memes and fixing them, and so we're gonna provide some evidence.
There you go.
Of these very negative memes.
Absolutely.
And it reads, a bird sitting in a tree is never afraid of the branch breaking because she knows she is destined to suffer. This is a very negative meme. And this is what Peter has turned it into. A bird sitting on a tree is never afraid of the branch breaking because her trust not on the branch, but on its wings.
Oh my gosh. That's brilliant, Peter. That's brilliant.
That's awesome. I love it.
Okay.
We also found this one.
Trust in yourself. You got to trust yourself.
So this is a negative one. This is Skeletor saying if you can stay negative in a positive situation, you'll make others lose.
Turn that around.
Peter fixed it.
Until next time, friends.
There you go.
If you can stay positive in a negative situation, you win. And then
And
the
I like
final
that.
one,
There you go.
the hardest walk is walking too far for your Uber.
Yeah.
I feel like we should all hold hands and sing "We Are the World" now.
Yeah, thank you, Ray. I think we really set the tone. Yeah, like this. Do this. Everyone do
Yeah.
this.
Hands across America.
Everybody, Joe, get up on there.
Oh, this is a
Lalo.
good one. Jim's got a lot to go.
There you go.
He's got a long way to go
I got
there. Brian, he's driving.
I'm driving.
Driving to me? Come on.
I'm driving. I'm having some
Oh wait,
Chick-fil-A.
Blyther's still there?
Oh, he's in Compton. He's in
straight out of
Compton.
I'm at Chick-fil-A.
Get some
Hey.
soup.
Hey, so circling back to BMX and positivity, there's like one comment that I wanted to make earlier, but I didn't get a chance. So one of the things that I think in BMX, and I'm sure there's other areas that this applies to too, but in BMX in particular, I think one of the reasons people are so positive is because they're desensitized to failure. So a normal person will fail and get discouraged, but in BMX, failure is, it sounds weird, but failure is almost, a way of life. Like it's all about failing. It's how many times can you fail and keep going, and that's success.
You keep pushing on.
Yeah, you
keep pushing.
If you fail 9 times in a row, but you try 10, you're going to succeed.
I just
Right?
told that story of doing
Yeah.
decades. When I learned decades, I must have did it all day long. I must have failed like 100 times, if not. I mean, we all been there. And you
Yeah.
just keep pushing on. Damn, I'm gonna get it. Damn. All right, what am I doing? You analyze what you're doing. Damn. All right, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get this.
Yeah, and I think that carries out throughout our lives outside of BMX too,
Absolutely.
where we become people that
transferable.
aren't. Yeah, we're
Yeah,
not
absolutely.
so discouraged by
I had to
failure.
write this test for tree identification, and I think I got like 1 out of 5, and like the whole class just totally bombed it. And I'm there like laughing my head off because I'm so used to failure. And I made a point of saying, like, once you know what failure is, like you just get better from there, because once you fail, you've learned what you've done wrong, and you can go back to the drawing board and start over and improve on what you did. So failure is like a very good teaching lesson. And like after that, like every time I wrote a test for that class, it was like, you can't do any worse, right? But it was just like so much better because I learned so much from that spectacular failure of how to improve.
Exactly. You can even sometimes it's a good idea to even welcome failure, because the more times you kind of get through that, it gives you more opportunities to not fail.
Well,
And-
again, if you can take something positive from a negative situation, you win.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's what learning BMX tricks. That's the same thing. Sometimes you get that failure, and it's a negative thing, and it just sticks in your mind. But you get that one positive thing when you pull the
I've been
trick.
stoked as hell to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So,
it's
Peter-
it's like you win.
Peter, are you open to like on Factor Freestyle, we have various different guests and they kind of turn into like an ongoing repeat kind of client that comes in or a customer that comes in, because you are a customer, you have paid for this, and you could get it for free. We'll comp you the 43 cents. I'll get Reclamation Bike to comp, and you'll join us as a character. And I was thinking we could call you Positive Pete.
Oh man, that's awesome.
How's that?
Absolutely. Yeah.
He's not
Okay.
going to be able to sleep tonight. He's going to be so excited.
No.
So Positive Pete, Joe, are you texting your girlfriend again? I'm just asking because I'm setting you up for this.
Would you, I don't know that you want to see who I was texting.
Oh, okay. No, I probably don't. Oh, it's probably going to be about Spike, about the smoking, because Ray wants to go back to the smoking, and we can cover that. But I just want to ask Pete if we have a series of questions that we like to ask. And Joe, can you start with the first two? Or no, first one, and I'll do the second and third.
So the question is, what do you do when you're at the end of when you're out of toothpaste?
No,
When
that's
tube
not the
is at
question.
end?
Stop, Joe, you're screwing everything up. Don't you have your notes? The first question is about lunch. That was your question. Billy.
Oh, Do you eat the same lunch every day, or do you mix it up? What's your lunch plan? How do you do it?
I like a variety. But something different every day.
Okay.
Sometimes fingers, sometimes toes,
Hmm.
sometimes their arms.
Okay. The other question is, how do you sleep? Do you sleep in the night? Do you sleep in the day? Do you sleep like the full night or the full day? Do you take
Hanging by your
do
feet.
you ever take naps? Just tell us about some of your sleep patterns, habits.
You suck your thumb.
You suck your thumb. I mean, this is all acceptable here. We're just trying to dig a little deeper into Pete's mind and how
Suck
you.
your thumb. Who said that?
That was Gary.
No, I'm a night sleeper. I get up early in the morning, like 5 o'clock in the morning. So I'm in bed like 8 o'clock and up at 5. So I'm a night sleeper.
Okay. And you sleep full like through the night, or do you get up and?
No, I get up. I'm up there in age, so I get up and my pee breaks. You know.
Okay.
That's
I'm
funny.
above 50, so
Okay. So who was that?
I don't want to know. I heard.
Who was that? Okay.
Hi, Ray. Look
That
at
wasn't me, man. My buds wanted to pick that up, dude.
I have a defibrillator on my truck. Do you need it?
Dude.
Okay. The final question is a
Oh my God.
it's a multiple choice. Okay. So we're going to ask you this. This is the clincher. All right. So not to give you a lot of pressure, but the pressure's on right now. Okay. The final 3 questions, you can choose from any of the 3, but you can only choose one. The question that referencing socks, toothpaste, or personal growth.
Ryan?
Thank you.
And there's no
Socks.
right. Okay, there's no right answers. Okay,
Socks.
Joe, you can deliver this one, Mr. Pete.
What do you do when your sock has a hole in it?
Keep wearing it. Wherever the hole is, if my toe is like poking through, I'll just turn the sock.
Don't give up.
Yeah, don't give. I never throw sock. If my whole toes are sticking out the sock, then I'll throw it out. But if my toe is poking out, I'll turn the sock so it's not poking out and keep wearing it. You're ready.
Hey, Joe, send him to HR and send him a contract. I think he's on board. What do you think?
I also do.
Jim, can you give us a nod? Yes, no? What do you think?
I like it. I like it.
Positive Pete. All right, Positive Pete. Welcome to factOrFreestyle.
Awesome.
I want to circle back around because I feel like there's something significant happening with the announcement of reclamation bikes supporting the next phase, yeah, there you go. Flatland Queens.
Flat Queen, sorry.
Flat Queens. Yeah, sorry. I always get that wrong, Joe. Why don't you correct me when I get these things wrong?
I corrected you. Oh, good.
Irina already corrected you.
I know, but Joe, you have to stay on top.
I'm in a vulnerable position here. I hurt Ray's feelings, and now I don't
Again,
want to overcorrect you.
Again.
Yeah, maybe you need to fix that with Ray before you move on, because it feels a little.
But Joe, we're
feels a
good.
little-
Joe, we're good.
Oh,
I just
okay.
needed
Then
to- I
never
just needed
mind.
to see you.
All right.
Does
It's always
anybody
better
have
to
any
see you.
unsettling business that they need to speak about right now as we go into the next bit?
I show you 15 seconds of the Rad Girls edit with Bill Allen in it. 'Cause I
Yes.
think this is where this rumor may have
Yes.
started. Like, this is where the training ground, I think, started. This really already happened. So just
Okay.
Oh, good.
That'll work.
Oh, you know what, Paula? I would be very happy to play
Can
it
you give it up?
and share my screen. I'm
I
sorry.
don't know if it's like you're able to view it online anymore. Does it work?
Yeah.
So
What
the
did
link
you
is
What did
in
you
the-
say? Okay.
I sent
Here-
the
so
link
here
in
we
the
go.
chat.
It's
I
it's in
got
the
it.
chat. Joe, I'd recommend possibly muting it just. to
All
avoid
right.
that stuff.
If you want to start around
yeah.
30 seconds in, that's probably the best to keep it like short.
Okay. Great.
We were already training back in 2014. So yeah, this is where the rumor started, I think.
Jericho.
Are you trying to get it up, Joe, again?
That's working.
I'm sorry.
So are you trying to get it up again?
That's what she said.
This is exact.
You can continue.
Someone was texting Paula. Oh, hey, did you see that we stopped at 43 seconds?
I did see that.
I gotta have the audio. It's got the rad song.
Jim, was there a reason why, for legal reasons, you were thinking that we should have it muted? Is that why you suggested that?
Yeah, potentially. Is that link
Oh.
that's on YouTube like public, or is it like unlisted?
Yeah, it's public. I'm looking at it.
Oh,
This
okay.
is-
Well, maybe it's no-
re-uploaded from.
Yeah, maybe it's no issue
2014.
then.
If you
I-
start around 30 seconds and then go to like minute, that's pretty much the Bill Allen part in there.
Jim, I appreciate that, covering our, because, we'll slip and we'll mess up, so thank you. But we should be good. All right, we're gonna roll with it, right? Jim, or Joe, you want to play it again with the audio?
How did you get? Unfortunately, I'm unable to play it with the audio.
Okay.
Would you guys like to see it played again?
No, only if you could add audio is my vote. What do you, that?
Bill
that's-
comes in at 140. Like if you start at 140 and just played it for 20 seconds, there's like the audio's in the background, so it might not get flagged, maybe.
Shouldn't be a problem.
Okay.
And so for this video, I asked the girls to dress up in 80s clothing. So here's Miyuki, totally 80s out with her
Nice.
neon socks
Awesome.
and scrunchie.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Is this Miyuki?
That's Miyuki Dazaki.
Gosh, I haven't
Still
seen
living
her
in
in a few
Vancouver.
years at least.
Yeah. I think the last time I saw her was at Real City Spin.
Same.
She
and I
started her
think
own
it was in-
business a couple of years ago, and I think she's putting a lot of effort into that. She also had a baby just not this December, but the December before that. So
She owns Lard Yard Stubble Ducks.
Yeah, so clean. Nice.
That's awesome.
Wait a second. Who is this?
that's Bo.
We're drinking soda? No.
Oh, right. Yep, I remember.
I
Can you
can't
go back
remember.
to 40 seconds?
I'm sorry?
I think we're at like the 3-minute mark there, are we? Can we go back to 40 seconds? That's where Bill Allen's at.
Sure can.
And can you get audio this time?
There you go.
I'm unable to get audio because it circles back through. He says, he's like, well, what vector does she ride for? What do you
Exactly.
mean
Yeah.
you don't know? It's your job to know. Wait, I'll do the overlay.
You do
I'll
the job,
overlay.
okay?
Yeah, you do
Can't
the
you
job.
click onto it right there? There it is.
Who are these girls?
I don't know.
What factory do these girls ride for?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? It's your
Like-
job to know.
It's like a kung fu movie, dude.
Okay, so Paula, can you take this time just to announce officially so we can take this clip and use it at a promo? Just the fact that you've now secured your sponsors, or at least your first sponsor, and you're excited to offer this contest. Further details were to come, but some really quick little plug.
For the contest,
Yes.
put me on the spot here. You have any ideas, Irina?
You're the pro here.
Let
Yeah,
Pete do it. He can do it.
Okay, anybody who's on this call that wants to do a plug for the Flat Queens comp, We don't know the date yet, but that's okay. Ray, you do it.
I can't do it. I don't know enough about it. I'm sorry.
You could tease it and just say, stay tuned for further details on whatever.
I want to see what Pete has. Pete's got something going. Yeah, come on, Pete. I can see it. I can see it,
Come
Pete.
on,
Pete.
Stay tuned for the great show.
Unbelievable. He's awesome.
There you go.
I don't know enough
He's a
about
natural.
him.
All right. So
Stay
Flat
tuned.
Queens coming back in 2022, new and improved. Lots of exciting things are going to happen. Stay tuned for further details.
So
Flat Queen.
She
Flat
nailed it.
Queens 2.
Perfect.
Flat Queens 2.
Okay.
This is going up against Tough Jam 2. I got my money on Flat Queens 2.
Wait, take two. Okay, take two.
Take two.
I'm gonna do a little directing here. So why don't the two of you talk about it and bouncing back, and as if, because you just got a sponsor. So who's the sponsor? What's the feeling around getting the sponsor, and what's going to be different than last year?
All right. So Paula and Irina, you guys now have Fred and Reclamation money, and I've got some ideas that I've been kicking around for promotional. I agreed that I would. Okay. So I've just my girlfriend is in love with Simple Green. She loves it. This is her favorite cleaner.
Okay.
And Simple Green, if you look on their website, you will see my second house with my girlfriend's Simple Green bottle. I think there is a massive tie-in between Reclamation and Simple Green. And I think we can snowball Flat Queens with the help of Simple Green and go global.
I think that'd be a good fit. I was
still
looking
use
for
it.
something outside of BMX to sponsor it. So that would fit that bill. Check that box. What do you
My
think,
girlfriend
Irina?
has lived them.
Sounds
Irina,
good.
what do you think?
Lynn, great idea. Let's go for that.
Okay, I'm gonna read something that's probably not public, but you can cut this out, Joe. All right, will you cut it out?
I swear on Eddie Roman to edit all of the stuff you tell me to take out.
Okay, so here's what we can do for Reclamation Bikes. Pro Cross purse will be, there's 5 riders registered in Pro, you can get $200 for the whole contest. If there's 10 registered, it's going to be $400. If you get 15 registered, it's $1,000. Let's face it, you're going to get 15 without a problem. We're also going to be working on plenty of products for the amateur and pro prizes in the neighborhood of $2,500 to $3,000 worth of products. We're going to hit up Colony, Huffman Bikes, Reclamation, Haro, Far East, Iggy, Flatland Fuel are all possibilities. And then we're going to cross promote and maybe get to have some help to get a rider to some of the AFA stops, which is Houston, Detroit, Winston-Salem, and Colorado Springs. So that is the official package that you just secured, Paula and Irina. That's amazing.
That's awesome.
So good. Thank you so much. Highly appreciated.
And more to come, I think.
Wait a
That's just like
second.
unbelievable. Like my mind is just like constantly like.
What's that, Joe?
I think it's just unbelievable. Like my mind is just like exploding like all the time. It's hard to focus.
that means Flat Queens is going to like be at the stop in Winston-Salem.
We don't
So
know
this.
yet. We don't know that yet. Because
All right. Well, I'm going to rebrand Bryan Huffman's contest from Huff Jam 2 to Flat Queens 2.
Love it.
I'm telling you, you all, I have to say y'all, this, when Joe gets onto something, it's just gonna, yeah, I know it was pretty bad. Y'all.
It takes practice. It takes practice.
gosh, I
Don't
gotta
give up. Don't
go.
give up though.
I don't want to say you guys. We have ladies on the call now. So
Look, y'all, I am on it. Huff
Okay,
Jam 2 is going to be rebranded
oh, that's going to be
as
so good.
Flat Queens 2. And
Electric Boogaloo.
Okay, we are kind of running down, so I want to make sure that if there is anything that didn't get said, Large Ray, do you have anything? I just keep putting you on the spot, but I want to make sure, if there's something burning on your mind.
No, nothing at all.
Okay, good.
Do you guys know that Joe and I have birthday on the same day?
Really?
I did not know that.
What day is that?
We didn't know either since last year when Facebook reminded me that Joe has also on the 22nd of April, right? Or I'm wrong?
you're right. What year were you born?
84.
All right. So let me tell you a little thing, a little something that has haunted me for several years. I was born on Easter, and on my 11th birthday, my birthday fell on Easter again. And I thought it was an 11-year cycle, but when I was 22, didn't happen. 33 didn't happen. 44 didn't happen.
Thank you, Jesus.
Right.
Easter's the most random Sunday ever, so it's going to be hard to get a pattern with that.
Yeah, bro.
It did not happen on my 43rd birthday,
What year were you born, Joe?
1973. Oh, this is actually personally identifying information.
11
but
years
no.
after, 11 years.
What's your social security number?
There's your 11 though.
444. Oh, there you go.
43444.
4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, I have a song, a new theme song I've been working on, and I just want to, you guys, Joe, can you another clip? Can you just I just want to get their feedback to see if this has got any legs. Can you just?
It's horrible.
Dave is about to sing.
I was just practicing.
Dave is about to sing.
Ray, was that genuine or?
Well,
was
we're
that
gonna do this like the
I was
Gong
making
Show.
a joke. Get ready to hit the gong. Here it comes.
This is also based on a comment from a listener. It kind of looked, the last show we did, it kind of looked like a Brady Bunch. This one's a little bit scattered, but it was like a Brady Bunch layout. Yes, Joe, what were you gonna say?
Gary, beatbox for him.
Yeah, Gary, can you beatbox?
Doing it.
Oh, I didn't hear it. Okay.
Your internet's breaking up.
Ah, you're kidding me.
Can you? Yeah, you're breaking. Jay, can you do the shirt thing again? While you're frozen, can you do the shirt thing?
No, I've done it enough. Okay, I'm just gonna try it, and maybe it's just gonna cut in and out, and it'll be even better.
It could be better.
Here's a story of a podcast with no ladies who were telling stories of their very own. All of them had shared goals like their brothers. The largest shy of girls.
I'm speechless.
Now have Pete do it. That was awesome. Pete, hit it. Pete's still there. Pete?
Okay, I guess I won't be writing the other two verses, Joe. It didn't seem like
Ray, is he smoking glaucoma cigarettes?
He was smoking glaucoma cigarettes again because something's not happening.
No.
Even Pete's laughing, dude. It's got to be bad. Tell him, Pete.
Sorry,
I think it needs more work.
It needs more work. Okay. Well, we can just.
Who do we know who sings? Who can take this and sing it?
Any singers on the call?
If Blyther has like 19 beers in him, he could probably sing it, no problem. But he doesn't probably drink anymore, you know. He's a responsible adult like all us other people.
Yeah, Brian, you have a story about when you were singing, maybe karaoke? Didn't you do some karaoke back in the day?
That was Kevin Robinson.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, that wasn't me.
Yeah, country songs.
I'm pretty sure if anyone was singing on tour, it was you, Dave.
Yeah. Well, you can see where that got me. My singing career took off.
It got you naked and in jail.
Oh, man.
Whoa!
Brian, what do you mean by naked and in
Ruh-roh.
jail?
Maybe they want to
Well, I
hear
don't
this story. The smoking
I don't
story.
know.
is
I don't know
like
if they
put
all
to the
were
side.
combined, but shortly after being naked, the cops are always there.
Wow.
Oh boy.
Where'd you put your cigarettes when you were naked? Just
We don't want to know.
in your jail wallet?
Just saying. Sorry, Dave.
That's okay. So Brian, do you have a tour story? Because Pete shared a
Not
couple
one.
earlier.
Yeah, hey Brian, tell us that story about Dave being naked and in jail.
Well, I got so many. I got so many memories of Dave having a good time, and 95% of them, there's very little clothing.
Oh man.
Naked
Yeah.
Nori.
Man,
Naked Nori.
I'm just getting thrown under the bus with my smoking.
Joe's got a hot tub.
Yes, I have a hot tub.
I'm pretty sure there's lots of photos floating around. Also,
I have a
Okay,
bone
the
to pick
next
with
segment-
Joe.
several photos.
Hey
I
Dave.
have a-
Stuff.
I said I have a bone to pick with Joe.
Oh, great. Thank you, Lalo. Thank you for saving me.
Hey Dave.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And I'm not going to reveal the whole thing of it, but let's just say that Joe owes me 2 wishes. 2 wishes. And one of them, it's already taken care of, but he owes me another wish, and I don't think I had the imagination to figure it out. So I was wondering if maybe anybody on the call
Oh
or
my gosh,
anybody
no.
on the comments or whatever could help me determine what the second wish should be. Yeah, because it's not every day that somebody owes you a grown man owes you a wish.
I'd have him change your bedpan, dude. That'd be a good one.
I'm not paralyzed. I'm just have a bad
Oh.
back.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like laid out.
No, look,
man,
my
that's
legs
dark.
work.
Okay, Joe, you're off the bedpan case. Lalo's just chilling. He's not really crippled. I thought. I'm sorry, my bad. I thought you were like laid out for good from life.
I have 3 herniated discs in my spine.
I was just trying to make Blyther laugh and it worked. So there we go. Mission accomplished.
You need a hot tub. Ask Joe for his hot tub. That's
Yeah,
pretty good for your back.
Yeah. So yeah, Joe, you owe me. We already spoke about the first one, so we don't have to divulge that. I think that would be in bad form. But I certainly want to open it up to the community's creativity to see what we can get Joe to do for my second wish.
Second wish.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Don't we have to know what your wish is for him to grant it, or
No, you guys just decide what the wish is, and then I'll say it. And then you have to do it because-
Oh wow!
how far away do you live from him?
Wow.
Oh, I live on the West Coast.
Okay.
But I mean, it's a wish. He could fly over here.
Yeah,
and do
plane ticket first,
Yeah,
right?
he's got plenty of time. He's got nothing but time and money. That kid.
Yeah.
He's fine.
I can
You know,
handle
I
it.
mean,
God.
to warm yourself up by jumping in your hot tub, that's like rock star kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, me, we got to put the oven on at my house and all sit in front of it.
Okay.
Joe's got a hot tub, you know.
How about a series of inspirational memes exalting you?
I got to look up
Just
what exalting
spitballing.
means. Who's that for? What?
A series of memes lifting Lalo up.
No, because Joe likes to do memes. He likes that.
We just
already.
want you to be able to walk again.
Okay.
That's all
Fair.
That would be my wish if I was Joe.
Hold
I
on,
would
Joe.
wish that-
Yeah, Joe, make that wish. Let's see if I can learn how to walk real quick.
Wait a second. Tell me what I've got to do. I couldn't follow what the idea was.
There was no idea. People are just doing the tangent thing. There's no idea yet.
Guys, like, okay, so I kind of feel safe because I gave Lalo carte blanche. Any wish.
Wow.
Carte blanche. And you guys, there are 9 people who have their opportunity to seriously bust my balls. And you guys are really taking it easy. Now, part of me
Given
is saying,
3 things.
huh?
No,
I've
I don't
given
want to
3
wait.
things already.
All right, let's enumerate these. So who's number one? Tell us number one.
Well, the first one just got canceled out because Lilo's not on a bedpan. So
Okay.
that one you don't have
Lalo,
to
by
do.
the way.
The
Lay
LL
low.
we'll call him. How about we just call him LL for short?
LL.
'Cause I can't remember that.
There you go. Well,
LL. He's too far away to jump in your hot tub. I think Joe should just write maybe a 1-paragraph romantic poem about anybody. A romantic poem would be great. It could be entitled "I Saw a Little Daffodil," and then just go from there.
that sounds like what you should do.
Who me? I can do it. I can do it, but I don't
Sounds
owe
like-
anybody anything. I don't owe anybody anything.
Sounds like you've been working on it.
Okay, hold on a second. A 1-paragraph romantic poem, like to Lalo, or like,
No.
not directed.
About anybody or anything. You could be writing it about your pet fish. Wishing it could be in the hot tub with you or something like that.
Now, keep in mind that if this happens, it's gonna, repeat, and it's gonna. The whole theme of the show is about wishes coming true, and what happens with that is that amplifies and then repeats. So you just be careful, Joe.
Yeah, no.
I don't have a say in
It's
this.
going to take Joe maybe a year to
No.
to accomplish.
No, this first wish, like the
Come
poem.
on, can't you
we could do
share?
the
Why
poem
can't you share?
next week?
We need to know what this first wish
I'm
is.
a little bit embarrassed about it. It's a place. It comes from a place of vulnerability from me.
You have a safe word?
I do.
Okay, well, use your safe word then. If you need.
I can't pronounce it. That's the problem.
Oh man, that's tricky.
That sounds
bedpan.
so inconvenient.
Yeah, it is. But maybe it doesn't have to get settled today. Like maybe it could get figured out by. I think you guys have a few hundred listeners. Somebody can come up with something good, and then we can really we could rake coal across the Joe across the coals. Joe across the coals.
Yeah, so this is an open invitation for
Yeah.
any listener to comment or send Joe a Instagram message on any of the 25,000 Instagram accounts that he has. And
There's a lot.
there's a lot. And
Least
basically the wish, Joe, you're basically saying is completely open-ended, like whatever.
Yeah. Well, no, I want to hear what they are so I can pick from them because it's my wish.
We need to compile a list. We need to compile a list. I don't want to say anything because I want to think about this. I don't want to just.
Yeah, you
put-
got to think about it. Because
Yeah.
think about it. This is like some sitcom stuff. Like when was the last time a grown man had the ability to make a wish and another grown man had to grant it?
Right. On a show that's talking about how dreams and wishes, the impact of that. So, hey, this is the continuation of this segment that's going to go on and on. Joe, are you prepared for this?
No,
I don't think you are. I can see you just squirming in your seat.
So I had this thing about I will grant you any wish. I started doing this when I really needed to. About a year and a half ago, I had a brilliant idea one day at Terradome 3.
Wait, was that 4 or 3? Wait, which Terradome again? Terradome 3.
This idea of granting people wishes came to me at Terradome 3 during like a Saturday session when it was like everything was popping. And I thought, this is spectacular. This is going to be tremendous and great things are going to come from it. At that time, we weren't doing this thing, Dave. And so one of the possibilities was not that someone who I owed a wish would come on the show and ask other people to formulate a wish that I
A wish list. It's a list now, Joe. It's not even a wish. It's a whole list that he gets to pick from.
Yeah.
It is a function of how many wishes he's been granted, and he has a couple.
I have 2,
And so-
and one is in the bag, so the other one's just gravy.
I can see why they call you Lord.
Yeah.
And so now I'm committed because I said yes. And the whole point of the wish is I'll do it. I need you to do something for me. And in exchange, you will have carte blanche. I will commit to that wish. I'm a wish committer. This sets me on a path that, frankly, I was, at the time I invented it, I thought there would be some rails to the wish or some rails to the path. This path that I'm now on has no rails.
It's just
I'm not prepared for this. By definition, I'm not prepared for this.
Okay, so we'll continue this. At least, I think we should do at least 3 segments. I mean, 3 shows, because we got to give it some time for listeners to comment. Because we don't, we don't have a flow of comments coming in, but we'll get something, and we'll have a good sized list. And we're winding things down. We're just about the time, and I just want to kind of bring it full circle, because end with like a round table. So Peter, you're the paid customer on this call. Do you feel complete? And if you got some last final words that you want to share, or noises or ideas or anything?
I got one story that I want either you or Bryan to tell, that I've heard somewhere along the line of, I think you, Dave, Bryan, and Ron were in Russia when this whole Chernobyl thing was like happening. And the 3 of you, or the 2 years or whoever, was like walking down the street when it was supposed to be some nuclear thing happen. Bryan or Dave, do you remember anything like that?
Bryan, you got the show. Tell that story. What happened? It was actually Germany, but go ahead. What happened in Germany?
Okay.
So the nuclear thing happened in Russia. A couple days earlier, we're in Germany, and we got invited to this laser show. This laser show was on the Rhine River, and it was at nighttime. So me, Dave, and Ron went to the Rhine River, and we're enjoying this laser show. And in the middle of the laser show, it started raining, and everybody was freaking out like they've never saw rain before, diving under cars, hiding up against buildings, under awnings, and just the craziest thing, while the stupid Americans are walking right down the middle of the street, enjoying the rain, getting soaked. And everyone was looking at us like we were crazy. We had no idea that it was acid rain, and we were being drizzled with nuclear particles. And then Dave started losing his hair shortly after that.
Oh, man.
Yeah, see, this is all implants.
Or maybe that was me. Maybe that was me that lost my
hair.
Yeah, I think I lost my hair after that. And we all just blame it on Chernobyl.
Oh, man. That's such a good story.
Wait, there's more that I remember.
There is more.
Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot. I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. You came back from the tour. You went to the doctor, and the doctor did some initial tests. And then they said, you need to come back, and you never went back because you were kind of freaking out. Is that not accurate?
Well, no, that's not accurate. That was probably on trying to get hair transplants or something. I figured if I'm going to bald, I'm just going to shave my head. I'm not going to do hair transplants. But yeah, that's a whole different situation. But my entire mom's side of the family, they're all bald, so it was going to happen anyway. It's just a nice story because we were the stupid Americans walking down the middle of the street, and everyone was tripping out on us, and we had no idea why.
And we were listening to stuff on the radio. Remember, Bryan, we hear a little bit of words that we could understand, and it seemed like something major was happening, and we didn't know. We had no idea the significance of it.
Nobody told you to hide because the rain was acid?
That's too funny.
Nobody told us that.
What's wrong with the journalist?
Nobody told you it was nuclear rain.
Nope.
And somebody should have told you, actually.
And we went out that night, and I remember, Bryan, I'm just going to share this information. Bryan did not choose the shower after we were out. So Ron and I were both, remember we were going clubbing to the Rama Killer, and that's where Bryan and Ron and all of us, we went there every night till like 2 in the morning. It was right around the corner from our hotel, and we had many of good times there. But Bryan decided not to rinse off the acid rain.
The one shower I regret. I do remember that morning we couldn't have milk or any vegetables. Remember that?
Yeah, right.
There
They
was
didn't want, you couldn't eat
Yeah,
any
they-
fresh vegetables or anything for a week or so. It was a while.
Yeah, there was no milk either. They just decided, and we didn't know why, but we found out later. I didn't even find out for a couple of days. I think I talked to my mom, and my mom told me, days after we were in it.
Oh, man.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay, Large Ray, you got some final thoughts? We're just wrapping things up here.
I'm just excited that Pete made it. It was 43 cents well spent. And I'm looking forward to seeing him again on Fact or Freestyle and probably at Woodward, because that's where I've seen him numerous times.
Yeah. Thanks, Ray.
You got it.
Okay, how about let's just do the popcorn stuff. How about Paula? Paula, how about final words for you?
I'm just kind of wondering what's going on with Germany and this acid rain. Was this like a freak incident, or is this like something that happens all the time?
So
This is Chernobyl, that when the nuclear
Paula, this happened in the 80s.
Oh,
There's
is
a
this like
nuclear
Ukraine?
reactor in
Okay.
the nuclear reactor melted down, and it was
Oh,
nuclear.
I know. Yeah, I'm familiar with Chernobyl. I just wasn't. I thought this was
Yeah.
like not the 80s.
Oh, you're like, oh shit, it happened again.
You didn't get that news? Have you been watching the news, Paula? No. This is the 86.
She's like, first the coronavirus, now Chernobyl happened again.
Chernobyl
What
happened
the
again.
fuck?
Right now.
One in Germany?
The Falkland Islands are being invaded.
Okay, Jim.
I have one more thing.
Oh, one more thing.
You
Go
didn't
ahead.
ask Irina the toothpaste question.
What is
Oh,
that?
oh yeah, right. We should ask Joe. Let's do the series of questions with Irina. Okay, so we have 3 questions for you. First one is, Joe, you go. You're the first one up. You remember what it's about?
How do you what do you eat for lunch? Do you eat the same lunch every day, or do you eat differently?
Always differently. I have like
Why not
this
the same?
routine every 2 weeks. As I'm working in the hospital, like every second week, the menu repeats. So I usually go dairy for lunch. So every second Monday, it will be the same menu. That's about it.
All right.
So it's different, but it's same. There's some rhythm to it.
Exactly. So it's different every 2 weeks, and then it starts repeating.
How does that relate to your riding? Do you ride the same kind of way? Like that same week that you have a, tuna helper, do you do a certain kind of tricks that cross, or, does it connect?
Somehow, sometimes actually, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Like today's a day I had the ham sandwich, so I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna work on my whiplashing.
Next
The
time.
whiplash.
Exactly.
You have your run tricks, and then on Mondays you have the same lunch and you do the same tricks. On Tuesday you do one trick a day.
Different. Exactly.
Perfect. I love it. Okay, Paula, did you have enough? Was that it for you, Paula? Are you good?
I think so.
Okay. I'm gonna say, Jim, what do you have to say for the final words?
Ooh, final words. I still just think it's cool that riders from all over the place can connect and hang out in a forum like this and just talk about some stuff. So thanks, y'all.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's really cool.
That's the best part.
Okay, let's go down to Lord Lalo.
It's Lalo. Short for Eduardo.
Why didn't you give me the finesse? Oh, okay, sorry. We'll just
I
call you
like his
LL.
nickname to be Lay Low.
We're gonna say
Don't move
LL.
until I say so. Yeah. I guess I have 3 thoughts, or 4 maybe. I think what's the Flat Queens, I'm super stoked on that because for me, Flatland, what makes me excited is when things surprise me, when things are different, not when it's like the same combo you've seen a million times. And so like I've actually known Paula, not real personal, but I've known you since like the days of AOL Instant Messenger and was admired the hard work that you did with that. And I mean that. And then Peter, I was like, I could see Peter's face as a caricature on like the thumbnail of a video. He seems like a natural. So I was really, tickled to hear you guys like offering him sort of this like pseudo
Awesome.
professorship or whatever. The third thing I wanted to just sort of say was I was wondering if Dave, if you were smoking cigarettes that night in Chernobyl, and you can address that later if you'd like. And then the last thing is that I think we should really nail Joe to the wall on this wish thing. So I'm hoping that people help me with that.
Okay, first I just want to say your title now is Professor Positive Pete.
Okay.
PPP.
Nice.
Second, in 86, I probably was still sneaking some cigarettes.
Shame,
You
shame,
were a
shame.
Dave, you were a sneaky smoker.
I didn't actually quit smoking until I moved from San Diego, and I moved to Oregon, and I changed my environment so much. This is actually pretty significant. We're talking about, you know.
Wait, so what year did you stop? What year did you stop
I
smoking?
would have stopped in
That's it, I'm not
98,
smoking anymore.
98, and I haven't smoked a cigarette since.
So in 85, you were like,
I was smoking a
full-blown
lot.
smoker.
I was smoking a lot, but Spike did give me a program. It was a 10-day program. I could start with as many as 10 cigarettes, and then each day I had to do less. He was weaning me off, and it worked. But then I started to cheat. Usually when I party, when we go out, and Brian would be like, "Come on, Gumby, pound this beer," and I'd get hammered, and then I would smoke a cigarette, and then, you know, next thing you know, I'd buy a pack, and it's just a cycle.
But you don't smoke anymore, though.
No, I don't smoke anymore. And
That's a good thing. That's a
what
good
I
thing.
think contributed was the changing of the environment and changing of the
Right.
habits. That was the
Good
huge.
for you.
But I have to say one other thing. When I was still living in San Diego, my wife, Carmen, at the time, my wife was so helpful. She put on the board right before I went out to the garage every day, the benefits of quitting smoking. First 24
Yes.
hours, you get better circulation. So
Yep.
there were a lot of people that were supporting me of my quitting. It's very addictive habit, obviously.
Good for you. I'm proud of you. Good. That's
Okay,
awesome.
Brian, last words for Mr. Brian Bleither. How many contests? I have a question for you. How many contests have you done one air and podium? Is there more than one?
Lion.
I can only think of one.
Only one. Okay.
Although
Here he is.
I can only think of one. Pleasanton.
Pleasanton. 85. Okay, so
What happened there, Brian?
My back wheel went off the side of the ramp and I slid across the floor. And that was my very first air. And I thought, well, that's it. I'm over. I'm not going to get up and ride anymore. And luckily there was only 3 people there, so I got third.
Oh man.
I should have entered that
I
contest.
honestly don't remember how many people were there, but I ended up getting third.
Okay. Who did we miss? Irina, go ahead. Final words for you.
I just want to thank you for the opportunity to meet all of you. It was really a pleasure, and thanks for setting up the show. I really enjoy it. I watch it a lot. So yeah, thanks for everything. Hope to see you soon somewhere. Hope somewhere live at least.
Yes.
Next year or so.
For sure.
Real time.
Yeah, thank you for making the time. And we tried to have you on last week, but it was probably meant to be that you're on this week, because it's really nice to announce the news about the sponsor, or not Flatland Queens, but Flat Queens. And yeah, super excited about that.
Thanks so much. We are here too, so I can't wait to talk to you tomorrow, Paula.
Yeah, we got lots to talk about.
Oh yes, and a lot to plan. So thanks for all your support and your help. Really appreciate it.
Definitely a team to be reckoned with.
Okay, Large Ray,
I already went. Way to go.
what did you say?
Talked all about Pete, a heartfelt Pete moment, and you just didn't even listen to it. You son of a gun, man. You know what? You might not be cut out for this, Dave. You're messing up. You know what? You need a cigarette, dude. I just went and said how great it was.
No, don't do it.
Pete.
I'm not going to do it. I think I need to go where I do a round table and not popcorn style. Okay,
No, he
Joe.
needs to smoke the whole pack.
Joe, any last words to share?
Yes. If you look at my Instagram right now, you will see that I have rebranded Huff Jam as Flat Queens.
Which Instagram? When you say look at my Instagram, you have to tell us which.
It footprints in the spam, and I'm going to show you. So this was the flyer for Huff Jam 2.
Wow.
Okay.
And this is the flyer for Flat Queens. I've rebranded Bryan Huffman's contest. And it's Flat Queens 2, and it's Flat Queens live.
Is that like a first generation iPhone? What is that thing?
No, they made them flat again in 13.
Oh, there it is. Okay. It just looked kind of odd. Okay.
Oh my God.
Should I continue about Dave messing up? He never asked Gary what Gary's last words. He asked me twice, but Gary none. Is Gary gone?
We were supposed to be channeling Gary, and Gary is gone. Where are you? Are you on the screen where you can see everybody?
I'm only on an iPhone. I don't
No,
got
scroll
Joe's
over.
kind of dough where I can have a computer, you
Scroll
know,
over. You
hot
can see all
tubs
of
and,
us. Ray,
and large pieces of concrete to ride on.
Ray, you scroll over, you can see everybody.
I can, but I got to keep scrolling.
Okay.
I keep going off Lalo because it keeps reminding me of when my dad was sick, so I can't watch it.
Dude, you're rolling in the cat.
Look at that money.
Hey, congratulations. We're under.
What is all that?
This is hot tub money, bro.
Look at that. Wow. Are you going to the club after this? Are you going to put your grill in and then go to the club?
Joe's like a high roller.
Or is that prop money? Is that like, or is he shooting like a bank robbery scene or something?
Joe, I
In
think
the
I know what
backyard.
my wish is.
Uh-oh.
Joe, never flash your money like that, dude. You're gonna get gunned down now that you flashed all that cash. In Philadelphia, they'd already be at your house slitting your throat, dude. What's wrong with you?
That's why I moved out to the country.
And
well,
you have
people in the
guns.
city
You
got
have guns
cars
now,
or
right?
an Uber. Be careful.
I lived downtown when the aggressive protests happened. And
Joe's from the streets is what he's telling us.
and so it was bananas. The next morning I wake up and there are Humvees outside my window.
Were they for
Because
sale? You could have pulled that cash out.
I live downtown and there was a power transformer station that someone during the protest decided to break into. This triggered the National Guard, and I lived with National Guard troops on every corner, armed National Guard troops for a month.
Wow.
Joe, you can go in that hot tub whenever you want. I feel bad for you. You need to relax, dude, and calm down.
Yeah, you do.
Sit back and just relax.
And leave your phone.
Let that
in the
money
house.
float.
And leave the phone.
I'm gonna take the money and put it in the hot tub.
Yep.
It's just float in the money.
Float in the money, man.
Okay, you guys, thank you all, y'all. I can't even call that yet.
All y'all.
All y'all. Thanks, all y'all. Oh, thank you, Paula. That helps.
Hey, Dave, can I just say something?
Yes.
I want to thank you and Joe for this opportunity that you give me. It's just absolutely unbelievable. It's nice talking to Bryan again, and it's a pleasure talking to you again. I really appreciate this opportunity. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
It was all my idea.
Yeah, Ray too. Ray, it's good to see you again.
Ray's
too,
the
Ray.
one. Yeah, just
Yeah, Ray's awesome.
Send him the link. He'll be the first to actually, because you did it off the website. So you can talk about that a little bit. You can say, what did you? You went to
You have a website?
factorfreestyle.com.
Freestyle, yeah.
And you signed up and you said, oh, I can be a guest on this show for 43 cents.
Yeah.
So
Best
now-
43 cents I ever sent.
Oh, good. That's
Dude.
what I was hoping
Yeah,
for.
best. It
Dude,
was awesome.
Seriously, Peter, this was, in my view, I am so glad you spent that 43 cents. What I got out of that was like next level. I didn't get a chance to give you roots and like say, dude, but that story is so awesome. I mean, it's terrifying, like any good life story.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm so stoked on it because you're so committed right now. You're like, I was like that. I went through this. I
Yeah.
got a test. I'm like this. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, hell yeah, dude.
Absolutely. Thanks, Joe.
Hell yeah.
All right. To be
Right
continued.
on.
Thank you, everyone, for showing up and sharing some stories and thoughts, and we really appreciate your time.
Thank you
Bye,
for the
everybody.
mask-free environment.
See you guys.
Bye.
All right, see ya.
See you guys.
Bye.
See ya.